Good morning, sir, and my dear friends. My topic is tetracycline. Introduction of tetracycline. Tetracyclines are bacteriostatic antibiotic having a broad spectrum of activity. Tetracyclines are the class of antibiotic which are chemical substances produced by microorganisms that are able to kill other microorganisms without being taxing to the person, animal, or plant. Tetracyclines are derived directly from of a bacteria, Neisseria streptomyces. All tetracyclines are solids, weakly water soluble. Their hydrochloride are more soluble. Isolated from streptomyces bacteria, first one isolated was chlorotetracycline. Tetracycline are a type of antibiotic work to major kinds of bacteria. Healthcare provide prescribes them to manage to treat various bacterial diseases. Market value of tetracycline, and the tetracycline market is likely to register a CAGR of 2% of during the forecast period. And DataBridge market research analyzes that the tetracycline market value at the USD 33.64 billion in 2021 and is expected to reach USD value of 40.99 billion by 2029, registering a CAGR of 2% during the forecast period of 2022 to 2029. In addition to the market, insights such as a market value, growth rate, market segments, geographical coverage, market scenario, the product report by the DataBridge market researchers them also analyzes. The countries covered in the tetracycline market report are US, Canada, North America, Germany, France, UK, Russia, Italy, Europe, China, Japan, India, South Korea, Singapore, Malaysia, and Australia, and Thailand, and etc. Tetracycline market share is increasing due to the commercial application, and the current tetracycline market is likely to grow antibacterial agent and is project to be expect in the demand for tetracycline in the future. Tetracycline market dynamics increasing prevalence of infection disease, increasing investment for healthcare infrastructure, surging generic population, availability of large number of generics, patient analysis. Cobalt tetracycline market scope, drugs, taxicycline, democlocycline, minocycline, mode of purchase, prescription, over the counter. Dosage form tablets, capsules, powder, other forms. Route of administration, oral, parenteral, end user, hospitals, specialized clinic, and home care. This is the structure of tetracycline. Molecular formula C22H24N2 oxygen 8, molecular weight 444.4 gram by mole. Appearance yellow color, form powder form, order orderless, pH acid and alkaline. Tetracycline are both adsorbs increase the form of acid and base, and boiling point 554.44 degrees Celsius, melting point 223 degrees Celsius, refractive index 1.736. IUPAC name 4S, 6S, 12AS, 4 dimethylamino, 4, 4, 4A, 5, 5A, 6, 11, 12A, acta hydro 3, 6, 10, 12, 12A, benda hydroxy 6 methyl 1, 11 diax hexonaphthalamine, 2-carbocyanamide. Physical state solid form, hazardous decomposition product, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxide, chloride, solubility soluble in water. And classification of tetracycline is the two types based on sources and based on duration of action. Based on sources, it is two types: natural and semi-synthetic. Natural chlorotetracycline and axotetracycline, demiclocycline, and semi-synthetic tetracycline, methocyclines, doxycycline. Based on duration of action is the three types: short acting, intermediate, long acting. Short acting half-life is 6 to 8 hours, tetracycline, chlorotetracycline. Intermediate half-life 12 hours, methocycline and demiclocycline. Long acting half-life of 16 hours, doxycycline and minocycline. This is the biosynthesis of tetracycline pathway. Next we are discussing about fermentation process of tetracycline, and in this process of producing tetracycline by submerged fermentation in liquid nutrient media containing carbon and nitrogen sources plus inorganic nutrient salts under aerobic condition by producing microorganism belonging to genus Streptomyces, which are capable to producing both tetracycline or chlorotetracycline, and followed by isolation of the antibiotic from the fermented broth and the improvement adding the fermentation media at least one organic tetracycline inhibited together with the benzyl thiocyanate. And this is the inoculum media. Components like sucrose, soya beans meal, sodium citrate, ammonium sulfate, manganese sulfate, monopotassium phosphate, dipotassium phosphate, calcium carbonate, manganese sulfate, zinc sulfate, potassium digromate, acetic acid. And growth conditions, and the culture was maintained on MGYP slants having the composition like malt extract, glucose, yeast extract, peptone agar. pH should be maintained 6.4 to 6.8, incubated 30 degrees Celsius for 48 hours. Subculture maintained the 2 weeks, and the culture was stored at 4 degrees Celsius. And in this is the fermentation media components like sodium citrate, sucrose, ammonium sulfate, manganese sulfate, monopotassium, calcium carbonate, manganese sulfate, zinc sulfate, potassium digromate. Inoculum preparation: 5 ml of sterile water was added to this land, and the spores were scraped and transferred into 250 ml flask containing 50 ml of inoculum media, and the flask were incubated at 28 degrees Celsius in shaker incubator for 5 to 7 days, and spores were harvested and washed with sterile saline solution and resuspended into 25 ml sterile saline solution. This spore suspension was used as inoculum. Basic fermentation steps in the tetracycline: aeration, vigorous and intensive aeration, submerged fermentation, and aerate significant effect on tetracycline production. Tetracycline is produced in submerged aerated bioreactor containing virulent culture media. In these three steps are commonly used for tetracycline: growth phase, production phase, cleavage phase. And growth phase, in this growth phase, fast nutrient utilization, enhancement of microbial biomass affected by presence of phosphate ion in the medium, and secondary mycelium bound to specific phosphate ion. Production phase is nothing but where maximum quantum of antibiotic are generated and overall growth rate is consistent, microorganisms decreases. and cleavage phase is the last phase, production of tetracycline. Almost mycelium undergoes the fragmentation and cleavage evenly. The production of tetracyclines first prepare the inoculum spores on agar slanta in fertile soil and agar plates and spores as inoculum. Shake flask. Next step is free fermenter and antibiotic purification from broth after cell removal. Its final product of chlorotetracycline. Recovery of the tetracycline. At the end of the fermentation, the culture broth is filtered to remove the mycelium. The ability to the proposed removal approach to recover tetracycline from an aqueous solution was also tested. After the removal process, the precipitate containing tetracycline were for 1 minute in the solution containing an excess of various common anions including CiNO3, CH3COO, SO4, CO3 and PO4. After centrifugation and for phase separation, the solution was taken for analysis of TC content and the filter is treated with N-butanol or acetic or alkaline conditions for extracting the antibiotic. It is then absorbed to the activator to remove other impurities and tetracycline is eluted and crystallized. Uses of tetracycline. Tetracycline used to treat a wide variety of infection including cholera, rickets infection for the prevention of malaria and as the growth promoter in animals and molecular methods including DNA hybridization with oligonucleotide probes and DNA sequencing and it is used for antibiotic and work the stopping the growth of the bacteria. Side effects of the tetracycline. Common side effect of tetracycline antibiotic include gastrointestinal issue, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. Some people have sun sensitivity. While taking the medication, this cure result in the sunburn reaction and like skin allergy and be sure to use extra sun protection like sunscreen or wearing long sleeves and headache, throat infection, black hairy dank. Thank you.